Good evening and welcome to the Year 12 information presentation, an introduction to our Sixth Form. I'd like to focus on achieving in the Sixth Form. My name is Mrs. Norman and I'm the new Director of Sixth Form and Assistant Head Teacher. And like your daughters, I'm new to Year 12 this year and new to the school. I'm really excited about working with them this year and through their time within the Sixth Form with us at the school. I'd also like to congratulate your daughters for making such a fantastic start to Year 12. I can appreciate it's been really tough and we're all delighted with the great start they've made this year, so thank you for that. So why has this evening been introduced? It's been introduced for four main reasons. The first being that Year 12 is the most challenging year of any child's education. There's a huge gap between GCSE and A-level. Significant changes in the culture, expectations and approach to education between Year 11 and Year 12. There is a big difference. Also this year we've had to make changes as a result of COVID, as you would expect. Knowledge is power. Your support is essential for your child to meet their potential. And as you're aware, at Carshalton High School for Girls, we have really high expectations. We want your daughters to do really, really well with us. So an outline for this presentation. First of all, what I'd like to do is cover what is new in Year 12. Secondly, just to give a bit of an overview of the higher education application process. And thirdly, just to look about A-level study, challenge and revision. So A-levels, as I mentioned before, we have really high expectations of the pupils in the school and we make no apology for that. A number of your daughters would have chosen A-levels to study with us. Since September 2017, all A-levels are now linear. This means that all exams occur in June of Year 13 and contribute to 100% of the final grade. BTECs. BTECs are available for those students who wish to take a more vocational route through the Sixth Form. They are the equivalent to A-levels in terms of grades. There's a greater emphasis on coursework than examinations. BTECs comprise of coursework and examinations. And actually this year we've introduced a number of new courses which we're really pleased to do, one of which is criminology, which is really, really popular with the students. You'll hear us talk about minimum expected grades. They're based upon historically what the average students in the past have achieved with the same average GCSE point score. This is the very least what we expect the students should be achieving. Each student will have a MEG for each subject that they study and it'll be the same for each subject. So what have we done about catching up? First of all, we've introduced academic catch-up ACUs. These are every Thursday, period 3, where the girls they have the study rooms where they can catch up on extra homework, extra coursework, complete extra exam papers. It's a time for them just to spend focusing on their studies. We've also introduced this year assessment periods. They run every day, period 3, and they are supervised sessions in which the girls will work in silence in exam conditions. It means that they can complete assessments, tests, exam papers in a controlled environment, meaning that we have their lesson time to teach the content and focus on teaching and learning. So effectively, they're gaining more teaching time to help prepare them for exams. We have clear and firm sanctions and reward. We feel that's really important, especially in light of the high expectations that we have in the Sixth Form. We also have a student leadership programme, which the girls in Year 12 will be able to get involved with, and that continues into Year 13. Part of the sanctions policy would be punctuality as well, and as you can imagine, being on time is really, really important. At the moment, the girls in Year 12 don't have sign-up privileges, and we will introduce that in October. The reason we don't have it at the moment is twofold. One, because the students have missed an awful lot of time out of school, and we want them in school working. And also, we want them to foster the right attitudes to learning and really positive attitudes to learning and resilience. So how can you help? Check reports and assess work. If there is underachievement, start investigating why that might be. Get in contact with us. If there's overachievement, please reward appropriately. I'll leave that one up to you. The second area I'd like to talk about is applying to higher education. MEGs are a significant factor in deciding whether to apply to university and which university to apply to. However, GCSE performance, the student statement and reference will be chief influence in Year 13. UCAS Points. A-levels and BTECs are worth UCAS Points. They are the currency to get into university. There are other non-A-level qualifications which have UCAS Points. For example, the EPQ, which is the Extended Project, and girls can choose to study that in Year 13. University offers come in the form of either UCAS Points, grades, or a combination of both. I think it's worthwhile bearing in mind that 50% of students in higher education do not have A-levels. You might be aware of the Russell Group universities. Russell Group contain many of the United Kingdom's leading universities. 18 of its 22 members are in the top 20 in terms of research funding. It was established in 1994 and it is referred to as the British Ivy League sometimes of the United States. The benefits of applying to Russell Group universities. The students get to conduct some of the most highly rated research in the world, the reputation for academic excellence, higher than average student satisfaction, lower than average dropout rates, first-rate libraries and facilities. Graduate recruiters rank 10 Russell Group universities in the top 30 universities worldwide. Russell Group graduates typically receive a 10% salary top-up over others. So who are the Russell Group universities? I'll just show this, well, who are they? I'll just put this on the screen now for you just to have a look at. Again, so how can you help? Be realistic. Look at your daughter's MEGs to get a realistic expectation and read their reports. There's no point setting the standard too high, although don't ignore Russell Group. It could matter where you get your degree from. The third area I'd like to talk to you about is A-level study, challenge and revision. Academically, this year will be much more challenging. You can't just rely on what's given to you by the teacher. Students are expected to cover significant amounts of material by themselves and work independently, which is the biggest jump, I think, when you go into the sixth form. This requires high levels of self-motivation and discipline. Culturally, it's very different to their previous school experience and when they did GCSEs, and also I'm mindful that they didn't actually get the chance to sit their exams this year. So students really need to get organised in Year 12. If I can put that into context for you, on average they're going to have 150 lessons in Year 12. That's 450 lessons to get organised if you're doing 3 A-levels. If the students can't organise their notes and their work, you're not going to be able to learn from it. So it's really important about getting organised right from the start. We want them to start ready. We also want the students to be reactive and proactive. 50% of what they do is going to be reactive, so work set by the teacher, for example homework. 50% will be proactive, work set by the students themselves, for example revision, further reading, research and extension work. Purposeful practice. Purposeful practice that the students do should be varied and it should be challenging. Revision isn't about highlighting and copying out their notes, much as many students love to do that, particularly girls. Revision is about testing yourselves. The harder you have to think, research tells us that the better you will remember something. So how can parents and carers help? Testing with revision cards, planning revision schedules, spacing out practice and making sure that students don't focus on areas that they're doing well in or that they're good at. Keeping distractions to a minimum. I realise that's not going to be easy. To promote positive learning and revision habits. And finally, to help keep your child staying healthy. If you have any questions about the presentation or about how your daughter's getting on the sixth form, please don't hesitate to contact me. And hopefully during the course of the year, I'll get to meet all of you. Likewise, if you'd like to be in contact with your daughter's tutor, again, please contact the school and we'll be more than happy to speak to you. Thank you for listening.